When you have better blood flow, your entire body benefits. Stick around to the end of this video for more information about how SuperBeets Heart Chews can support healthy blood pressure. I know I just talked about subscribing to get me to 800,000, but you guys showed up in force. If you're still on board, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm even closer to 900,000 now than I thought I even could be. We're knocking on the door of 825, and really, by election day, we could be at 900,000. Thank you so much. Let's talk about despair and depression and anxiety related to this election. Day after day after day, we witness Donald Trump acting like a demented dipshit, like a clown, like a fascist in waiting. Like he's everything that a politician should not be. He's hosting weird McDonald's costume parties where he's cosplaying like he's a worker. He's sharing AI images of himself as a football player and a military person and rescuing cats and dogs. It's unhinged. And that's not even to mention him salivating over the size and gloriousness of Arnold Palmer's penis. For 12 minutes, he ranted and raved about Arnold Palmer, and then it culminated with him, "It's unbelievable." He's stoking violence about FEMA, spreading conspiracy theories about what's taking place in North Carolina and Georgia, Louisiana, any of these hurricane-ravaged states. Of course, he's questioning our democracy and calling into question the efficacy of our elections. He wants to end democracy in America. Very well, there could be violence after this election at his hand or at his dispatch. A lot to be worried about. I know I have to turn off the news. I have to check out sometimes, get off social media, and just go into hermit mode. Just if not for a day or two. It's serious. And you want a politician to know what's going on out there, the pulse of the people. You know, when you're in a position of power like this, I think it's easy to be insulated from real world shit that's going on. And you want a leader who wants to be tapped in, tuned into that. And Kamala Harris is proving time after time after time on the campaign trail that she has done the work to be tapped in. I'm going to play a clip here where she is on stage with Liz Cheney being questioned about this election. And it's just a free-form conversation, kind of a town hall. And this 2 minutes or so is just a beautiful encapsulation of who Kamala Harris is. And this is her talking about the despair that you might feel surrounding this particular election. It is uplifting. It is a window in to her heart and her concern for the American people, and a message of hope and encouragement, which so many people need right now with, 2 weeks before the election. Today's Tuesday, right? 2 weeks. Anyway, watch this, and then we'll talk about some of the points on the other side.
But if I can just speak to what people are feeling. We cannot despair. We cannot despair. The nature of a democracy is such that I think there's a duality. On the one hand, there's an incredible strength when our democracy is intact. An incredible strength in what it does to protect the freedoms and rights of its people. Oh, there's great strength in that. And it is very fragile. It is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it. And so that's the moment we're in. And I say do not despair, because in a democracy, as long as we can keep it in our democracy, the people, every individual has the power to make a decision about what this will be. And so let's not feel powerless. Let's not let and I get it, overwhelming nature of this all make us feel powerless, because then we have been defeated. And that's not our character as the American people. We are not one to be defeated. We rise to a moment, and we stand on broad shoulders of people who have fought this fight before for our country. And in many ways, let us look at the challenge then that we are being presented and not be overwhelmed by it. The baton is now in our hands to fight for, not against, but for this country we love. That's what we have the power to do. So let's own that. Dare I say, be joyful in what we will do in the process of owning that, which is knowing that we can and will build community and coalitions and remind people that we're all in this together. Let's not let the overwhelming nature of this strip us of our strength. That's how I feel about this.
It's the part in the middle that I really like. Talking about feeling powerless and not giving in to feeling powerless, she says, because then we have been defeated. And that's not our character in America. That's not who we are. That's not who we aspire to be. These are paraphrases, obviously. We rise to a moment and we stand on broad shoulders of people who have fought this fight for our country. This isn't new. We've been here before. Maybe not us, maybe not our generation, but we as Americans have fought this fight before. We've won this fight before, and we stand on the shoulders of giants to accomplish it yet again. There is no time to give up. There is obviously time to feel afraid, but we must be courageous. And courage isn't the lack of fear in someone. It's action in the face of fear. And in many ways, let us look at the challenge then that we are being presented and not be overwhelmed by it. The baton is now in our hands to fight for, not against, but for this country that we love. Can you imagine? Look, I know it's becoming cliche to say this, but can you imagine Donald Trump saying anything of this sort? Anything resembling this positive message? I know it's very difficult to do so, because the first thing that comes to mind when you think of the things Donald Trump says is hatred and venom and vitriol and division. Just divisive speech from rally to rally to rally to rally, when he's not talking about the size of Arnold Palmer's genitalia. When he's not praising insurrectionists who attempted to overthrow the United States government in his name to reinstall him as president of the United States, even though he lost the Democratic election. This is what we want in a leader. She is clear-eyed, she is passionate, she is empathetic, she is intelligent, and she's passionate about the country, about you, about me, about MAGA world. She wants to make this country better for everyone. She doesn't want to cut off emergency management aid to red areas of the country because they might not vote for her. She's not Donald Trump. I mean, look, if that's the only reason you need, that's enough. But we got a good one on our hands with Kamala Harris. Again, I'll say it again, as I said it the other day, I hope you have a plan to vote. I hope that you have a strategy involved, because there will be dirty tricks. There will be lawsuits after the election. There very well could be violence, as I mentioned earlier. You need to have a plan. Our country is relying on you. I am relying on you just as you are relying on me. What do you think? You can comment below. I would appreciate that. You can also call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me as always, daily at dollemore.com. I'm on social media everywhere. You can support the work and help me produce these videos. Click the join button below, become a channel member for $2 a month, or my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Stick around. A word from today's sponsor. Be genuine, everybody. Take care of one another. With a busy schedule like I sometimes have, the more I streamline my processes, the more likely it all gets done. Breakfast, for instance, needs to be something simple so I can quickly get to the studio to get some work done. And chores are best accomplished for me in tandem, like watering the plants while taking our dog Sweepy out for a walk. Maintaining a health regimen, too, needs to be straightforward. I don't have as much time as I used to have for the mixology required in some routines, which is why human Super Beets Heart Chews are a perfect alternative for supporting healthy blood pressure. When you have better blood flow, you're targeting more than your heart health. You're powering your endurance, your mind, your muscles, the best version of you. Make promoting heart health painless. Head to getsuperbeets.com and use promo code Dollemore to score a free 30-day supply of Super Beets Heart Chews and 15% off of your first order. Human Super Beets are the #1 doctor, pharmacist, and cardiologist recommended beet brand for cardiovascular health support. They're a plant-based and stimulant-free way to help you realize your potential. And talk about easy to use, all you have to do is chew. Paired with a healthy lifestyle, the antioxidants in Super Beets are clinically shown to be nearly 2 times more effective at promoting normal blood pressure than a healthy lifestyle alone. Double your potential with Super Beets Heart Chews. Get a free 30-day supply of Super Beets Heart Chews and 15% off of your first order by going to getsuperbeets.com and using promo code Dollemore. That's getsuperbeets.com with code Dollemore. Make healthy living simple with Super Beets.